Hello everyone, I'm very pleased to present the Welcome City Lab today. My name is Laurent Cage. I am the manager of this tourism startup incubator that was created in Paris 4 years ago. It was the first tourism incubator created in the world, completely dedicated to young entrepreneurs that sometimes have trouble in getting in touch with industrial big groups in the travel industry. So our main objective with this initiative is to stimulate innovation in the tourism industry to the benefits of young entrepreneurs, but also that it should benefit to also big groups to integrate innovation more in their processes. The second objective of this initiative is also to make Paris more innovative, to make it move on, and to question itself and to open its doors to entrepreneurs. Welcome City Lab was founded in a non-profit organization called Paris&Co. Paris&Co is the economic development and innovation agency of Paris. We provide 4 services. The first service is that we attract foreign investment to the city. The second service we provide is incubation of startups. We run 10 incubators throughout the city. So that means that I have 9 colleagues in 9 other vertical economic sectors like health, publishing, smart city, food, many sectors, and so on. We are focused on tourism. We also experiment innovative solutions, so we help startups find hotels, airports, railway stations, restaurants, department stores to test their idea and to go further, faster in the way they validate their idea. And at last, we organize major events like awards, like the hacking of the City Hall, which is taking place next week, main event to animate the global ecosystem of innovation. What are the services we provide? We provide 4 services. The first service is incubation of startup, of course. So how do? We launch a call for application every year in January, February. Then we select around 30 startups. Every year we receive more than 100 applications from France, of course, but for foreign countries. So far we have incubated around 10% of non-French startups, but our goal is to increase this number and to reach 30% of international startups incubated in our premises. Then when the startup arrives, the incubation is in 2 parts. Of course, the housing, the renting of the space, and the coaching of the entrepreneurs and the team. So what do? Is that we help them in terms of marketing, commercial, management, everything which is important for young entrepreneurs to go faster, to have some methodology, and mainly to be directly in contact with the main tourism professionals so they can really test the idea and find clients quicker. The second service we provide is academy. We sensibilize tourism professionals to what innovation is, and on the opposite, we sensibilize innovation professionals to the opportunities that the tourism industry brings to their businesses. So it's important because sometimes they don't have the direct contact with tourism, so we really make them work together with ateliers, workshops, demo days, conferences and training programs. The third service we provide is experimentation. So we help our startup test the idea in real conditions with mainly tourism operators, but also on the public space in Paris and at the level of Greater Paris. And the fourth service is economic intelligence. We think that it's very important to identify the trends about tourism innovation in the near future. So how do? We have correspondents in every continent to help us identify what are the trends in tourism innovation, at a global level, at the world's level, and we publish a trend book, which I brought some copies here on the table, so you can have some copies if you want. A trend book about what are the main trends in innovation, tourism, hospitality, and travel we identify every year. The next copy will be published in September during the French Paris Tourism Show. What are our results so far? So since 2013, we incubated 70 startups that raised around 70 million euros. And this figure is going to soar, has been soared recently because Guest to Guest, which is one of our startups, recently raised 30 million euro and is going to purchase the leader, the American leader of the market, which is home exchange. Guest to Guest brings an innovation in swapping apartments and houses with a virtual currency, and that's their main innovation. When we speak about innovation, it's important to underline that, of course, digital is the main reason for innovation today. So half of our startups are focused on digital technologies. But you can be innovative without being digital. You can bring a service innovation, a new use of a service. You can bring marketing innovation. Of course, you will always have a digital identity in your startup, but the nature of innovation can be of different forms. Our startups created 400 jobs for the past 4 years, and they have developed many collaborations, more than 80, with big groups. It's also one of our elements to think about, is that how are we able to stimulate the cooperation between major groups and startups. So how are we organized? We have a steering committee composed of 15 members. 10 of them come from private sector, so big groups. So as you can see, all these logos like Amadeus, Skyboard, RATP, Paris Airport, Galeries Lafayette, they are all leaders on their sector. So it's important for us to gather the whole industry around us and to make sure that they can bring every every sector of the tourism industry to the startups. Recently, we welcomed 2 new funding partners, which are Paris&Co Group, which is a hotel group in France and China, and Caisse des Dépôts, which is a bank. I would like to focus in these partners on BPI France over there. It is the National Investment Bank because it's our main partner in terms of banking and financial help to startups. Because when we select startups, startups can apply to get a subsidy of 30,000 euros from the National Investment Bank and or very interesting loans with the 0% interest rate. So how is the future for us? We are working on 2 networks. The first one is an international tourism incubator networks, because we think that we would be stronger being international with other incubators in the world. We were very surprised when we launched this initiative. We received many curiosity signs, phone calls or visits from foreign delegations from all over the world, more than 30 delegations, asking us, how did you do that? What's the business model? How do you attract startups? How do you identify them? And how do you help them grow faster? So for the time being, we have signed the agreements with Montreal, MT Lab, which is going to open in May, with Mexico, which is going to open next year, and we are in discussion with an African city and an Asian city in Asia. Our goal is to really internationalize our view over innovation, over the trends, and to be able to tell our startups, you want to export to Asia, you want to export to Latin America, then we have a partner over there, and you can be incubated there for free during 3 months in exchange of receiving in Paris a Latin American startup or an Asian startup. And of course, the trend book that we published in the near future will be realized, will be carried out and published by the international network. We also work on a national tourism incubator network to position France as the first country in the world to create a national network of tourism incubators with like sea resorts, mountains, etc. Here are the results of our last call for application that was closed last month. So we received more than 100 applications. As you can see, there is a great diversity of typology of startups. They can be B2B, B2C, B2B2C, so it's very diverse. We doubled the number of women applying, so now it's 23% of women, because we want to stimulate women entrepreneurship and to reach 50%. We received 10% of international startup applicants, and as I told you before, we want to reach 30% within 2 years. Here are the batch of this year, so the 13 startups, the seed startups. So these startups are just beginning. So it is their first year of existence. They just launched their project, and our goal is to help them be in contact with their first client, to be able to pitch in front of venture capitals, and to be connected with the business. If you want to meet them, some of them are going to pitch after me, but we are all exhibiting on stand 105 in this hall, so you are all welcome afterwards to meet us. It will be a pleasure for us to present all these startups to you. I thank you very much for your attention, and I remain at your disposal for any further question. Thank you.
Vas-y, vas-y.
Ok, pas de
Je te laisse.
Well. Hello everyone. I'm Guillaume. I'm going to present our startup, Destigo. So I'm the CEO, and at Destigo we build smart customer assistant for travel companies. So if there's someone in the audience that works for a travel company, such as an airline, an airport, a railway company, or a hotel company, well, we've all experienced that customer support is a hassle. For the travel companies, it's hard, it's very cash consuming, and it's hard to keep up. And for the traveler, it's super frustrating because you're losing a lot of time and you want an answer as fast as you can. Well, with Destigo, we are a platform that helps to build and deploy smart customer assistant, which are chatbots for travel companies. For the traveler, they have an instant response. We cut the flow of questions that arrive to the customer support teams because our assistants answer automatically. And we can customize them with any APIs so that can answer any sort of questions such as cancellations, luggage issues, change of hotels, of flights, where we all may have experienced this with the strike at the airport in Berlin. So this is a small demo that we did with a fake website of the airport of Berlin, and apparently it's not working. So I welcome you to go to etb.destigo.com. In here you click on the small help ed thing, and you can ask questions like how to get to the city center, what's the weather like in Berlin, what does the airport provide as a service. So it's a smart assistant that we created as an example for this fair. So if you're a travel company and you want to build a chatbot, you have two solutions. Either to do it yourself with great tools such as Recast, Wit.ai, Epi.ai, or you work with an agency, a development agency. And both solutions are very cost and time consuming, and they are complicated to integrate with APIs, and they are not specialized for your use cases, for your business. Our tool is an interface where you can build your chatbots very easily without having to code. So you create the path of questions between the human and the machine, just very simply with a flow like this. You integrate your API, for example, Sabre, Amadeus, FlightStats, or any API that you may have, and it's accessible as a SaaS, so you can access this on any device. The chatbots then are available on two platforms, either on Messenger or on web chat, as you've seen on the demo before. Our goal is to reduce the cost of customer support, increase the conversion of the travelers, and to improve the image and the customer satisfaction, because when something goes wrong when you travel, you have an instant response. So this is one of our first customers. And as we can see, before they had approximately 25 conversations per day with their traveler regarding issues on their chat. And there were 3 employees answering. Today, after 1 month of use of our technology, if we combine their agents and our smart assistants, they have more engagement. So they have 60 conversations per day. And only 5 are then done by agents, and 55 are handled by our technology. So now there's just 1 person answering the travelers for the 5 remaining questions. So we brought them very good return on investments and engagement for their travelers. How do we build the chatbots? Well, we use a certain number of informations. So we need the FAQs, so the frequent asked questions of the travel companies. We need to access some web content on your website, different APIs, and obviously the global distribution systems. And all of this is aggregated into our platform and then redistributed into the bots. Well, why Destigo? Because we're verticalized especially for the travel industry. So in travel industry, there are great costs related to customer support, and we provide important cuts. We help to manage the customer support and to make it much more efficient. There are great synergies between the companies. So a hotel, an airline, and an airport, they all benefit to create the chatbot on our system because the use case are very similar. And since we are a platform, it's much faster to deploy. It's more flexible because you can change the behavior of your bot every day without having to do any code. And we are independent, meaning that you don't give your data to large GAFA companies, for example. Our business model is either enterprise for more big bot projects, but we also have different solutions for middle-sized companies, and soon are launching a light solution which is specialized for startup, where they can access the platform and build their bot on their own. We are 3 founders, 2 business guys, Elias and I, and Pierre, who is our CTO, and we all worked for startups or in relevant travel companies such as Price Match, a startup acquired by Booking.com, or Expedia. We're now a team of 10 people, 4 fixed employees, and a few trainees, more in tech, helping us to develop our platform. And if you look a bit in general, the opportunity is that over the next few years, AI will be key to change the customer support interactions, and customer support agents will never have to answer repetitive and low-value questions for their traveler and take care on the most important things. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm Ralph. I'm representing a company, a tourist guide booking platform, at least 2 platforms, Caribou.co and Midtrip.com. Midtrip.com is a certified tourist guide company, and Caribou is a local guide company. So you're going to ask me, what's the difference between them? The second one, whoever is in this room can become a guide. And so, for example, we have students for Caribou, but also like CEO of big companies who wants to share their passion. Previously, last week I had the CEO of a big concierge. He told me, "Oh, I want to become a guide," and he decided to become a guide. And then he made some visit in Paris this week, and it went very well. So that's it. I'm very glad to see you today. I'm going to present you the platform. So Midtrip.com has around like 55,000 tourist guides in the world represented on the platform, and we provide them to hotel chains and travel agencies. So why implement, first of all, why implement the Midtrip Caribou solution inside your hotel or inside your travel agencies? First, because you're going to provide new services to your clients. Secondly, because you earn money. And third, because you do nothing. So as I told you, there is a big difference between Caribou and Midtrip. For example, we signed a big partnership with Accor Hotel. And Accor Hotel, you have a lot of different brands, like from high-end, like Sofitel, Fairmont, and they use Midtrip.com, which is certified and also a bit more expensive. And also in Ibis, Mercure, and Novotel, which are a bit lower end, then they use Caribou. You don't have the same amount of guides on both platforms. We have a lot of IT tools that connect those guides to different type of businesses and also to clients of those businesses. We started with a B2C platform, but after a while, we decided to switch from B2C to B2B, and we decided to launch a new platform, the B2B platform, specialized in concierge. We have John Paul and AXA Conciergerie, who uses that platform, and also the mobile apps that was needed to geolocate all the guys around. So we decided to extend, and now you can just geolocate yourself. You see all the guides around you, and you can book guides around you. We also have API, because now many businesses ask us to provide the streams of guides, to provide them directly on their platform. And also Smart City. We signed with JCDecaux and La Poste, who provides inside the city with Smart City and also in the airport the streams of our guides. So very shortly you will be able to book guides everywhere in the cities. Those are our three main businesses, segment of business. Hotel chains, of course, travel agencies and conciergerie. These are the guys we are working for at the moment, and we decided to concentrate on those three segments. As I told you, we have a small know-how, but basically two things. One is to source all the guides, because we need to provide a high quality of guides. So we have high-end guides for mid-trip with certification. So we check all the certification with associations, syndicates, Ministry of Tourism, and so on. And at the same time, we have to check the level of language. We have 10 different people in a long-term contract, just with different languages, native different languages, that check all the level of English, level of Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, and so on, of all our guides, because we don't want any surprise when the client just come in front of the guides and say, oh, he doesn't speak my language. And I saw that on the platform, the language was well written and so on. So we check everything. And at the second time, our second know-how is the IT. So we provide all the tools, the IT tools that enable clients to provide to their clients the product. For the hotels, there is a very simple value proposition. First, it's the main thing, back to basics. We provide leaflets. On those leaflets, you have like some code, and then you go on the website, for example, Mercure of Accor Hotel. You come to a Mercure hotel, you have the leaflet in your room at the reception, and then you go on the website, mercure.caribou.co, and then you enter the code. And after entering the code, you have all the guides geolocated around your hotel. And then you can book the hotel, and we give back a commission to those hotels. We also provide guides directly on their website, on their platforms, on their apps, everywhere. So we have a lot of different stuff. Travel agencies, for them, they have directly a B2B platform. And you can use it to find, of course, packaged guided tours, but also you can make up some tailor-made guided tour, and you can book either certified guides or local guides, like we call them Caribou. And you get, of course, a kickback commission. So you can, of course, book a lot of guides. Today it's more than 2,500 cities. Now it's 4,000 cities in the world. Okay, on this one you can create and send detailed and customized. We also started a new functionality. This is the instant price. For example, you say, I want a guide in Uzbekistan next Saturday who speaks German and who's available at 8 p.m. from 10 p.m. So usually it's quite hard. You have to call a DMC. The DMC will give you a price in 2 days. And on this platform, as soon as you finish the request, we give you an instant price, and you can book it from now. And then we do like a brokerage. We are going to find the guide. Of course, you still have the instant booking, because all our guides just give on the platform, on their back office, they give all the information needed. The API, of course. You can ask us a lot of questions. I'm not going to detail and give details about this API because it would be too long. So you can come there, as Laurent said earlier, to ask us more questions. A growing company. This year, we have a forecast of 30 million euros of turnover. It's made mainly with hotel chains. We have Accor, of course, B&B hotels, and other hotel chains. And also travel agencies, but hotel chains today contribute more to the turnover. That's it. So you can contact me whenever you want.
Hi everyone, I'm Roman, the co-founder of Victorian AI, an artificial intelligence that helps hotels to predict and meet guest needs by analyzing external data. Okay, first of all, the battlefield. This is the world we are living in. Airbnb on the housing part, and booking on the profit part. And for every hotels, it becomes harder and harder to find customer. But as soon as they get a customer, they get an opportunity to make him loyal and give him an opportunity that we'll never forget. But to create this moment, this unique moment for every guest, how do you do? How the hotel staff can offer the best experience if they don't know the guest? Because when you book a room, you don't know the guest, you don't know who the person is. And it makes it very difficult for the hotel staff to give something very special. So we think that thanks to technology, we can give a way to hotel staff to know the guest better upon arrival and then to create something unique. How? By using by using external data, by using all the public informations that we can find on the web on a customer. There is many surveys that shows that for every European customer, there is enough information on the web on them to be able to know someone in more than 62% of the case. In terms of millennials, which are growing and growing, in less than 5 years, there will be 80% chance to find many information about the person without knowing him, just by Google and all the public data. So now you are going to say, okay, there is many information on the web, but how do I use it? Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence gives you the opportunity to analyze all the information, pictures, information, tweets, everything that you have, and then you can combine it so you can create something that is actionable for the hotel staff, because there will be enough information to better understand who is the person. And it's not only customer insight, it's also prediction, because with all the things I know, I can create a meaning, and this meaning will help hotel staff to make everything it can to create a better experience. And we have built algorithm thanks to IBM Watson, which is the leading company in artificial intelligence worldwide. And nowadays we are able for every guest upon arrival, just with a name, a last name, and in the best case scenario, an email address, we're able to find a picture, we're able to find center of interest, we're able to find why are they coming to this hotel, and what could we do to make them feel special. Is it a special offer? Is it a particular, I don't know, a newspaper that they need? Everything we are able to anticipate, so when the hotel staff will speak to you, they know you. They can even predict your needs, and they can prepare everything. So as soon as you get to the hotel, you feel at home and you feel like a special guest until the moment you leave. So we launched the company last September, and we have now more than 30 clients, which are mostly groups such as Accor, and for Accor we are working from 3 stars to 5 stars, and many independent groups such as Relais, Chateau, On Hotel, mostly in France. And every day we are able to give them the knowledge of their guests, to identify who has the best potential, in terms of e-reputation, in terms of upselling. And thanks to that, hotel staff know the guest, and they feel happy because they know that because of that knowledge, they will be able to create a unique moment, create emotions with every guest, and it makes it very fun for them, and the GM is happy because it's more profit at the end of the stay. And So that's what we are able to do. This is our promise. Thanks to technology, by using the best of technology and giving that to human, we are able to make every guest feel unique. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melanie and I will be representing Europass. We created a digital solution within the WeChat environment to better attract and satisfy Chinese FIT when they are traveling in Europe. And we are helping European institutions to promote Europe to Chinese FIT. To give you a few numbers, in 2015, 126 million Chinese traveled outside of China. It represents a market of $215 billion. If in 2015, 58% of them were FITs, by 2020, 75% of them are expected to be individual travelers. When it comes to Europe, by 2020, 20 million Chinese travelers are expecting to travel in Europe. We have a market that is evolving and changing. They are coming individually now, and over half of them are actually millennials, and they are always connected. They also have new expectations when they come to Europe. They want to experience the European way of life the way we would. The culture, the history, of course, but also the activities that as Europeans we're doing. They want to discover new experiences, and also when they think Europe, they think quality. So when they buy something, either goods or services, they expect quality. There is a big gap. They're really digital users, and there is a big gap between the digital world in China and the digital world in Europe. We have Google, we have Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. They have Baidu, they have Alibaba, and they have Tencent. Tencent, it's also WeChat, and this is why we're working, our digital solution is developed within the WeChat environment. WeChat is the first social network in China with over 850 million users. They use it in their personal life, but also in their professional life. It is also the first mobile payment solution in China with millions of transactions per day. WeChat managed to build their own ecosystem in order to satisfy all needs. And we can see that if it's a new lifestyle, especially that when it comes to tourism, 77% of Chinese travelers are using WeChat and are using the mobile tourism. It is really the first source of travel information before they travel and when they want to travel and they are in Europe. Where Europass comes in is that we developed our solution within WeChat. So for every institution in Europe impacted by tourism, in the luxury industry, in touristic attractions, in museums, in cities, we can give them access to the full potential of WeChat. We are a digital communication agency. We're a team of about 20 people by now. We are only 3 non-Chinese. And we can create for you, for every institution in Europe, a WeChat account, create the content in Chinese, speak their language, but also the way we do, because our team are native speakers. And we can communicate all year long, so they know that the institution are existing, they know what they can do, and they can know all of that through WeChat. We are also in Europe a payment provider for Europe. We can create for the institution, the European institutions, a WeChat online store in order for them to sell their product, their packages, their services, and the users will be able to buy in yuan online or even at the point of sales, and for European institutions to get their money back in their own currency. This is also what we do as a payment provider for Europe. Now, I only have a limited time to speak, so if you have any question, I'll be at the stand 105, so feel free to ask anything. I will happily answer any question. Also, if you do have WeChat and you want to scan the QR codes, you will find all the information about Europass, myself, or even the commercial director that is here. Thank you very much for your time.
Hello everyone, my name is Laure de Borio and I'm the CEO of Paris&Co. And I want to talk to you about kind humanity in the travel industry as a woman first and as an entrepreneur. So, tourism DNA has changed. Destinations are no longer products, they are brands. They're living organisms with multiple assets, and travelers are no longer tourists. They want today to be fully included in the destination. They want to leave the destination. They want to breathe it. So here is our story. And to make it real, technology is the key, but human is paramount. So at Paris&Co, we combine artificial intelligence with human instincts, data with local expertise, thank you, data with local expertise and hospitality to technology to deliver the best answers through the power of our algorithms, but in the blink of a human eye. Because we think technology is the enabler, but the whole story is about people. So Paris&Co is a human interface on top of a smart app. We're the first customer-caring service aimed at any major destination of the world. And naturally, our first playground is our home city, Paris. Such an inspiring city, but today, despite technology, Paris remains complex for Pam and her family. And that's exactly why we are here, right in the app. Our city helpers answer Pam on the go, in her language, whatever she needs, wherever she is. Our sole purpose is to ease and optimize her experience all along as her angels of trust in the city. So Pam just logs in, chooses her plan, and here we are. And at first, we want to know Pam in the very details to focus on her and her specific needs. She can instantly contact her city helper, either by chat for a simple request or a call if she feels to. And we've added a priority line because we think in case of an adverse situation, Pam shouldn't stay on her own in a place she doesn't know. It's just a click away, right in the app. Our city helpers never deliver just an answer. They deliver Pam her answer, based on who she is, matching her profile with the specific resources of the destinations. As we know the city, we optimize, we personalize all information. We do the job for Pam. And as we manage on the go, Pam is totally free to change her mind. Today, the service is up and running in Paris in 5 languages, and our next release version will answer any traveler about Paris, anywhere, personally, directly on his mobile. Our system is based on continental units. At first, we focus on European capitals to reach a market of 18 million travelers per year. Each city helper has an access to the whole network because 80% of the queries get a set of relevant answers from our data intelligence systems, and our city experts remains the 20%, handle the remaining 20%, sorry. So we optimize the resources by hiring locally, and when rolling out new cities, we do create a 16% synergies of costs. In Europe, 80% of the touristic flows remains in Europe. So in each city, we create both organic growth by targeting both local tourist markets and locals traveling outside their own country. We optimize profitability by even answering before the trip. And eventually, we aim at implementing units on every continent. We're a team of 28 people, from perspective to IT architecture, through photographer, but first and foremost, we're an international hub from the inside, sharing all the same values where everyone is a turnkey. We believe travelers are willing to pay when there's a real value. So from €4 up to our no limit pass, we fill in the gap between basic applications and expensive personal assistant services. We refuse intermediary fees because we want to ensure transparency to our clients. We're a genuine added value to travelers, thus to the markets. And actually, B2B is coming to us because our expert platform increases efficiency and accuracy of their staff regarding tourism information, leaving them more time for face-to-face client interaction. So, to summarize, we bring life to the experience, generating goodwill at the very heart of the destination business. Thank you.